Hey guys, uh, hang on, let me just turn the game down a bit so I can hear myself think, but anyway, yeah, welcome, happy Monday, and also happy final day of September. Today will be a very chill stream. I'm in one of those moods today where I just want to relax as much as possible because you may not be able to hear it slightly in the background, but it is very rainy here in the UK, or at least it is in my part of the UK. So yeah, I am very much in a chill, like sort of tranquil frame of mind right now. But yeah, so obviously today is Monday, and for those of you that have seen my schedule, you will know that Mondays are our Ace Attorney days. So yeah, today I will be jumping back into my Ace Attorney playthrough, which I started quite a while ago now, but I paused it momentarily to give Black Myth Wukong a try on stream, and then obviously now that I'm getting a bit burnt out on Black Myth Wukong, I'm back to playing Ace Attorney as part of my new game cycle. So and this has also come at a great timing because I mentioned this yesterday, and those that were with me on that stream might remember. But a few weeks ago, I was lucky enough to raid one of my favourite anime voice actors, Kyle Phillips, who is best known for roles in My Hero Academia and One Piece. And he was very, very nice and very, very cool, and he was lucky enough to notice that I was playing, well, not lucky enough, but nice enough to notice that I was playing Ace Attorney. And then, he recommended the Ace Attorney anime to me. I started watching it that night, and as Carl predicted, and as I probably figured out myself, I love the anime, and if you're like me and you love the Ace Attorney games but you have not seen the anime, I highly recommend you go and watch it, because it's not just like a movie version of the games. There is also a couple of extra bits of backstory and stuff that the games actually don't even go into, which is really, really cool. But yeah, so we will be continuing the last case in the first game, Ace Attorney, which is also a bonus case, Rise from the Ashes. Apologies if I sound a bit weird, by the way. I think I may have an ulcer developing on one corner of my mouth, and my gum also hurts in like one area, so yeah, it is a little, like, I have to be careful like where I like rest my tongue in my mouth, because but I'm still good to play this game and read through all the dialogue and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, let's not waste any time and get into the game. This will be the first hurdle. So the thing is with Ace Attorney is it's one of those games where if you don't have the best memory at remembering where you leave off in things, it can be very hard to get back into it, or like figure out what you're doing exactly. It looks like we're talking with Angel there, so. But yeah, so. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think my memory is being jogged now. So, last time I played this game, we got to the part of the case where we are now looking into the Joe Dark killings, which is a pretty pivotal incident to this case that also happened. It happened before the case in this like chapter, if you will. But yeah, the events that happened in the Joe Dark killings are proving to be pretty important in solving this case. So yeah, let's talk to Angel about the Dark investigation. Joe Dark, that's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her. Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gann. Okay, after case closed, that legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was just checking I did my social media stuff. Anyway, she was being used. Okay, now we're gonna inquire more about the legendary duo, that being Chief Gann and Lana Skye. Damon Gann and Lana Skye. Gann led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gann's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean? Oh yeah, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dare confront him though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yeah, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated everything crooked, and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why does she have to turn so cold after that? Okay, being used? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yeah, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how can he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure, ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star. You listen to me, Rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Okay, so we've talked to Angel and learned some valuable things about the Jurdak killings and about the relationship between Chief Gant and Lana Skye. I nearly said Emma Skye, but she's the assistant in this case. So yeah, let's see. Where else can we go? I guess I'll just go through all of the locations until something clicks. Can we... No, we've talked to her. Underground parking lot, we just went there. High Prosecutor's office. Talk to Edgeworth. Police department entrance. Move. Criminal affairs. Oh, okay. Okay, so I've come up with a new solution. So now that I know how the anime voice actors for the Ace Attorney anime voice the characters, I'm going to try and I'm going to try and mimic the anime voice actors versions of the characters. Yeah, I will admit, like, Gumshoe's voice in the anime kind of surprised me, because, like, the name Dick Gumshoe and, like, also his appearance is what kind of makes me give him a country accent. So, when I heard that the voice actor in the anime who plays him, who I think his name is Brian Massey, yeah, he gives Gumshoe just a very, I don't want to say stereotypical, but that's kind of the only word I can think of for it. But yeah, just a stereotypical cop voice. But yeah, so anyway. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. I'm not going to change my voice for Phoenix because Eric Vale, who voices Phoenix in the anime, he pretty much does a very similar voice to mine, just like a very generic, like, normal American, like everyday American guy voice. But yeah, it still blows my mind that the same guy that voices Tomura Shigaraki in My Hero Academia, who's like the big overarching villain of that show, also voices Phoenix Wright. Like it kind of makes me look at his MHA character differently. Especially now that I've had Eric Vale voice both a very villainous character and a very heroic character. but I think he's a amazing voice actor who does both sides of the coin so well. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Okay, can we talk to him? No. Is there anything we can give him? So yeah, I'm just gonna present everything to Gumshoe. But yeah. So, yeah, let's just go down. Government's ID. King of Prosecutors. God damn, ever since I updated my DualSense Edge, the rumble and haptic feedback has just felt better than ever for some reason. Like maybe, yeah, because for those that don't know, because I know not everyone has a PS5, so the PS5 does things a little bit differently in terms of controllers, so I think there's like some sort of chip or hardware card in here, and yeah, so basically PlayStation now are now releasing updates for not just their software but also the controllers as well. So yeah, every once in a while, when I use my PS5 with this controller, I have to update it in order for PS5 features like the rumble and haptic feedback and adaptive triggers and everything to work properly. Okay. It's not looking good in terms of getting anything out of the evidence. Oh, okay, so, I wonder if this is it, because I've noticed the music has stopped. So I'm just gonna cycle through the text until I get to, until I make some progress. Come on, Gumshoe. I really hope you have something for me. Come on. No way, Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever Oh, this is it! Okay, yeah, I just remembered. So obviously we needed to show Gumshoe something to get him to open up Chief Gant's office for us. And what I've just presented him is a letter of resignation that Miles Edgeworth has written. So yeah, I think this is what we needed to present in order to get him to open up his office. But yeah, so is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too, but I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence, but we betrayed him. Detective. That's it, I've made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they won't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective, thank you. There we go. So, yeah. So, with Gumshoe's ID, we should now hopefully be able to get into Chief Gant's office. So, without further ado, let's move. But yeah, so Chief's office. Here we go. But yeah, sorry I went quiet there for a minute. But yeah, I was just cycling through the evidence because, again, like, yeah, I really wish this game, but like the one thing I have to say that I wish could be improved about this game, is that there's literally no signposting or like recapping, um, if you like take a break like I have and come back on it. Yeah, like I always find it really nice if for games to have some sort of be like, welcome back, uh, um, or some games might like save but still, um, or like replay the last cutscene in order to remind you of where you were in case you take a break from the game. But yeah, I do think Phoenix Wright games could be signposted or like recapped a little bit better. Because again, like I am just coming back to this game after a bit of a break due to playing other games on stream. So yeah, I am very much a little bit rusty and having to sort of remember where I was. But yeah, so here we are, Chief's office. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Click. Well, Gumshoe's card worked. Such a flashy, gaudy office. We're in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Eek! Gah! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah, Detective Gumshoe. What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable. Why would you crush his ID card? He might actually need it. He might not get terminated and still end up being a detective. Yeah, exactly. Hey, don't do that to my card. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Okay, let's talk to Gumshoe a bit about the chief. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yeah, that's where I was waiting for Lana on that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So, ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant, and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Okay, now let's ask Gumshoe about Chief Gant. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah. You wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go, ignoring me again. Okay, sir. And now it's time to examine. Sir. Ooh, there's a very conspicuous looking safe back here. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Input number. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday? It's... I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. 7777777. Oh. Oh my god. His safe code was his ID number, which means that the 777 that you saw when I when I presented the list of ID numbers does belong to Chief Gant. So that means he was in the crime scene. He was at the crime scene on the day of the murder that we're investigating. Like, yeah, like, so not the Joe Dart killings, but the other case we've been trying to prove Lana Skye innocent for. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 7777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 77777? That ID number? I think you're 17 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? I can't believe the first thing I examined seemed to be like the most important thing in the room. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's hang on, that looks familiar. A shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. Oh, it's a cloth with a handprint on it. We might be able to get a fingerprint off it. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? Is this is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with the case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective. Well, I can think of something. So let's so if I'm right, I should be able to now can I present the jar? Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. What's in this jar? A piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yeah, that one. That was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Assemble fragments. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Oh, the moment of truth. Let's see if it fits. We might need to rotate it. There. Combine. No. There. There we go. Yay, it fits. We now have the complete jar. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of the jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Okay, unstable jar has been updated. Evidence from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. There are traces of blood. Okay, Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take, huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, hehe, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Oh, I loved it, Gumshoe. Sheesh, where's your sense of humour? Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check it for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. Okay, so let's dust. Oh wait, yeah. Wait, yeah. Yeah. I wonder which would be the best finger. Yeah, I mean, any of them would work, I guess. So yeah, I'm just dusting. I like how they made it so you can't dust over the hood, where it tells you what buttons do what action. I nearly said HUD, but then I was like, Georgia, it's clearly called a HUD. A heads-up display. Okay, I almost feel like I'm cooking when I do this, because obviously when you bake, you have to put a lot of flour on your chopping board to knead dough and whatnot. Ooh, okay. I gave it my best shot. Aww, okay. So yeah, that finger wasn't the one. I'm gonna go for this middle one because it looks very, very pronounced. So yeah, so yeah, let's dust away. Okay, blur. Oh, there we go. That's a proper print. So yeah, I'll just dust over where the print actually is, just to get the bits that we missed. But yeah. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so whose print is this? That is the question. So Damon Gant has been hiding a piece of that jar, which we just fit to the jar, and now we know that the jar has blood on it. But yeah, as for this piece of cloth with a handprint on it, I do wonder how. So it's not Damon Gant's fingerprint, which is interesting. It's not Meekins, it's not Jake Marshall, it's not Goodman's, it's not Gumshoe's, it's not Lana's. Wait, it's Emma's? What is Emma's fingerprint doing on that piece of cloth? Oh, this just got even more interesting, but yeah, it's definitely Emma's fingerprint. Yeah, because Yeah, this is a very big development. Um, yeah, because especially once it's revealed who that piece of cloth actually originally belonged to. Yeah, it kind of changes the whole case a little bit, but yeah, I'll let the dialogue do the talking for me. No, how can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match. Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Psst. Hey, you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Piece of cloth folded and added to the court record. Sir, piece of cloth found in Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something, but what? Bears Emma Sky's fingerprints. Interesting. So we can't talk to Gumshoe, so I'm guessing we can now keep on looking around. This is a real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons? Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh. Be careful of what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in his armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. Okay, let's examine the desk. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, so. Hey, look at the case name! Huh? SL9 incident? I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long. That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? Oh yeah, that's right. Edgeworth had the other half of the list. I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Evidence list added to the court record. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Eek! Chief Gant. We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too then. Wait, you, the one without spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright! Ooh, interesting. Why does the chief want to talk with Emma? Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just have to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why is she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. Ooh, I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. There's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Okay, let's talk to Lana. But first I am going to have a drink. Because, yeah. So yeah, my drink of the day today is a nice cold bottle of Sprite. There we go. Okay, keeping quiet. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom may I ask is the person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of? What is this person's name? Damon Gunn. Well, Miss Skye. Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? Damon Gunn. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of the investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Okay, so yeah, I don't think there's anything to, pardon me, right, pictures drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. I've got a very bad feeling about this. I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This star piece and this piece of cloth. You know what these are. They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touche, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident, serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then, she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? Okay. But yeah, Lana's certainly giving us some juicy info, so let's see what more we can get out of her. It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you paid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with it. So, you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma. I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So, your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? Interesting. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as an attorney and investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Okay, it's finally time for the final day of the trial. And what could very well be the final trial in the first game in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. So after this, I don't plan on ending the stream after finishing the first game. I will be continuing on to the second game today if I can beat this trial before I have to wrap up. But yeah. But I don't know why I'm talking about wrapping up though when I've just started. But yeah, I guess I have a clear-cut plan for the stream in my head. But yeah, so let's save the progress. There we go. Final day trial format. So yeah, it looks like there might be 2 parts to this trial. But it should be very good. Should be very interesting. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 77777 ID number is, Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant. Ooh, he's already showing his ugly head in court. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Archie. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Oh, why do I feel like she's gonna confess? What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to the trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana, Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has a right to self-representation. My request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue the trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage will certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, No one tells Edgeworth what to do. I don't think I care for your turn, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye and request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this, mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dack of the Joe Dack killings. Is this correct? Yes, I'm trying my hardest to forget about that though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Oh, here we go, guys. Okay, first testimony of the last day of the trial, 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does his testimony have to do with Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay, first cross-examination. Okay, press. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the PD, correct? Yeah, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The PD and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. Okay, press. A man. Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Okay, press. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gann and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gann. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assumed that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark ran me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but... Okay, press. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So, the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. And The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. He law. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yeah, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time, words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. Okay, I think this is where I present, because I don't know if you noticed when I examined this, but there is a picture on the back and it looks like somebody murdering someone. A picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. Okay. But yeah, so let's present this. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, this is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn it... Ah, what's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's a picture I drew. Indeed. 2 men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These 2 lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Order, order. But Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. Why is PC Badger drawn on there? That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Okay, so evidence list has been restored and updated in the court record. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about the picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Okay, Emma's picture. This is a picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay, cross-examination number 2. Press. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gunn and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. Okay, press. So, at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who would come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? Okay, press. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. You really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives. Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I'd better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well. That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Okay, okay, present, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to present the photo again. Yeah? Oh. Okay, well, maybe I need to examine it first. So yeah, let's see. No? Okay. Or maybe... No! I didn't mean to press, oh my god. Okay, okay. Hmm? No. Right, let's read through this again. Hmm. I think I have to present something on here, but I'm just I need to figure out what the contradiction is. So, yeah. Okay, okay, so, victims, yeah, there's nothing there. Oh wait! Hang on. There we go. That was it. Yeah, so the autopsy report was the contradiction because it says that Neil died from being stabbed in the back of the head, which means that he probably didn't see who his attacker was. But yeah, so I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture of the witness reel contains a blatant contradiction. What? But look, I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out its contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? I think, is it his hand? Or is it the knife? The contradiction of course lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah, what's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already about a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ah! Order, order, order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There is another one? If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Okay. So I don't think it's the King of Prosecutors trophy. Or maybe it was. Actually, yeah. If anything's broken here, it's you. Huh? I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright. Oh no, come on. So I don't think it's Edgeworth's knife. What other knife-like things do we have? I don't think it's a screwdriver. We don't have any other knife though. Was it a screwdriver? Well then there's no blood on it. Can I examine the okay. That can't be the only clue. Yeah, what's the real murder weapon? The only other thing I can think of is the screwdriver, but that has no wood on it. Oh my god, what is it then? Or maybe I picked the wrong option. Also, no, I was meant to friggin' save. Okay. Real. Yeah. Okay, my memory's jogged now. Let me, so yeah, let's present. The answer lies in the past, 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the awards ceremony. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. So I was on the right lines, I just presented the wrong evidence. But yeah, I just had a bit of a memory jog. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order! Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh no. This case is getting wilder and wilder. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Hold it! Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness. Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? I knew it! This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting. Okay, Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward the both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Stop, please! Don't pursue this any further! Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant chair. But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye. You've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Okay, I missed recollection. Cross-examination. Okay, I'm gonna need to, I'm gonna save. Because, yeah, I screwed up pretty badly on that on the last cross-examination. So, yeah, okay. Let's press. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark. Yeah, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you... Okay, press. Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was I've gotta help the other person. Okay, press. What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. This guy was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. So much happening in a matter of seconds. A little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. Okay, press. Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here. Well, it was the chief of detectives who brought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the PD. I had this nagging feeling I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? Okay, press. His shadow. So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what the shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture, yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, just gonna save, because it's very easy to get this next bit wrong, because you have to be very precise with where you present. There indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger, something that is now sitting in this very room. I'll just double check that I saved. There we go. Mr. Wright, in this room. Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the Winters saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger lookalike. Okay, so it's the unstable jar. I'm just gonna examine it just to make sure I've got all the clues out of it. Okay, but so yeah, so if I point this a specific way, so this way, or is it that way? But yeah, so if you point this a specific way, notice how it starts to resemble the blue badger a little bit. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going for with this, or what Phoenix is trying to, or about to describe. But yeah, let's present the jar. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's, what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Okay. I love the music. But yeah, so I can rotate. Oh yeah, wait, yeah, so yeah, it is from this angle, and then you need to try and get it so that it shows both the... So yeah, it's kind of like that, but yeah, you have to be really precise with how you present it. So I'm gonna give that a try. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, this part is like really finicky. They really could have, like the writers or all the game designers could have been a bit more, or a bit less picky with this part of the game. Oh damn it. I wish this part wasn't so finicky because I always have to I always spend quite a few tries trying to get this part right. But yeah, I do think it's best to show it from this way. Yeah, maybe I need to do it so that it doesn't show the holes in the ears as well. Come on! Oh my god. I'm doing it right, it's just... Yeah. Urgh. This part makes me so mad at Capcom because it's like... Dude! Like, making it look like the blue badger should not be as difficult as this game makes it out to be. Like, I'm doing it. Like, that looks like the Blue Badger. But yet, the game is just like, nope, that's wrong. Maybe I need to be... It also doesn't help that when you rotate, you have to be like bang on with your rotation. Yeah. Like that. Oh, finally! I got it. But yeah, you have to be really finicky, but I'm glad I managed to get it, and I didn't spend ages trying to get it. But yeah, well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. No, it can't be. Order, order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoy Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that Badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see? This changes everything. Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? I don't think the location was different. I think it's the murderer? Question mark? Murderer. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen the jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to the picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? Ah! The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in the room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless, I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh no. It's looking like Emma might have accidentally killed Neil Marshall. And Joe Dark was innocent. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! Oh no, she passed out. I never imagined that testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. I need a drink because my throat is being a bit of a cunt right now. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me. Do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. You certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touche, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek, the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. So it's probably this jar again, because there's blood on it that looks like it might be trying to spell out something. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on the jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines? Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely, sir. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No! Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim could have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Okay, so it's time to play a little classic game of join the dots. So, we're going to start with this dot and connect it to this thing. Okay, and then we're going to connect it to this dot. And then connect that dot to that dot. So that very much looks like an E to me. So part of this has already been revealed, so let's connect this part to this part, and this part to this part. This is not looking good. That looks like an E, and that looks like an M. And this very much looks like an A. I think I know whose name it's gonna spell out. But yeah, so okay, and then boom. Yep, it spells out Emma's name. Let's present it. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So, this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Now we know why Lana was so adamant about not allowing the trial to continue. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Wow, what a sad end. Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gunn, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ack. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Crap. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order, 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 order! The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to tell the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Okay, so that was the first part of the trial that just keeps getting sadder and sadder with all the new developments and big reveals. But it also makes for one heck of a story. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. Final day trial ladder. Let's do it. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty, and to top it off you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again? Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the PD. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? He said if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Okay, evidence law securely slipped into pocket from Miss Guy explains 2 rules of evidence law. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now though. But yeah, so let's read through it. So, rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the PD. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you are unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife in his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Okay, back in the courtroom. Oh my god, my nose. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Sorry about that, guys. My throat's being really annoying. Maybe it's time for another drink. Although, to be honest, drinking doesn't seem to be doing much. Also, my TV remote just fell down next to me. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, ahem. Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, ahem. Cough, cough. This isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It will prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecutor's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Damon Gant. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. To Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. Alright, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered the prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that the police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn ya. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. Okay, finally, Damon Gant's gonna testify. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Doc was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Doc bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Okay, so... Press. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the PD that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant, Lana Skye, also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. Okay, press. So, the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it into the elevator first, so Neil and I split up. You went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got a shock in my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when the knife went into his heart, though. That's not funny. Okay, press. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yeah, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. Press. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means... You found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Anyway. Press. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Wiley Worthy, always a smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Okay, so... Okay, so I clearly need to present something on this statement. So, yeah, so what could Damon Gant have possibly forged? Or actually, let me look at the evidence law book again. Ow, itchy. Okay. I mean... Is it this? Oh, it is that. Nice. Yeah, because if he had nothing to do with the forgery, then he wouldn't have had any evidence in his safe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? What's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Rhino, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to the trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. All. Oh, that's nice. I didn't get a penalty. Okay, it's definitely that statement, but yeah, maybe it's the evidence list. Yeah, maybe it's the evidence list. Let me present. You claim you had nothing on, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Okay, yeah, this is the right one. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh, he is a defense attorney you may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with it? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Rhino? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his true punishment. the way he just used his first name. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My, kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Okay, another testimony, evidence of forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participated in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. Excuse me. Today is, well, you know. Alright, Edgy, in return though. I know, that place, right? What are these guys, telepathic? Okay, cross-examination, evidence of forgery. Okay, so press. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped. Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Rhino's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. Grrr, I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Okay, press. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course, but suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Rhino. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Okay, press. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Rhino. Think about it. Okay, press. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Okay, press. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would of course be the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh, the resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho, ho, ho! Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little bit. Is that true, Wedgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Chief, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. Okay. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Okay, press. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then, who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? I think it's Lana. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye the defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this? He will be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. You mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh my god, Judge. Oh wait, you must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this, that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange throughout the entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the Chief of Police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the Chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. So, I think it's the ID card record. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Order, order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations, and I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You haven't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing: what transpired during that meeting. In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Is it the, I think it's the, it might be Goodman's note, but I think it's the, ID card record room again. Oh, there's also a lost item report. Yeah, so... Oh, okay. Oh. Come on. I think it might be Goodman's lost item report. Yeah, there we go. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murder poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait, the chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes, now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No. Chief Gant, you didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the PD the entire day, you know, and everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you. Take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. Yeah, what did he use? Let's see. Yeah, what could he have used? Don't think it's the evidence room floor plans. Yeah, what is it? What can he have used the body? Zen? There we go. Yeah, I think it was something in the parking lot that doesn't have its own evidence. Well, I see. Maybe I'll use this later to move your dead body, Mr. Wright. Huh? Oh, come on! Oh. That leaves only one possible way. Was it the piece of cloth? No, I don't know. Maybe it was the piece of cloth. I don't know. Oh my god, my throat is being so annoying. Come on. What is it? Chief Gant stayed at the PD and Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office. How did he get him to do it? So if Gant stayed at the PD, then it has to be something. Yeah. Is it the crime photo, or is it Goodman's note? Or did he use the blue badger panel? Oh my god, what is it? Think. I can't. Chief Grant stayed at the PD. That means only one possible way could have moved the body. The only problem is, how did he get him to do it? Who? Is it something in the evidence room? Fuck, I really should have. Right, What is it? What is it? Okay, no, wrong window, Georgia. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Who messaged me? Oh, okay. Right, anyway, yeah, I don't know whether I would have got this, because with my current train of thought, but yeah, apparently it's the parking stuff. I had to look it up because I was clearly stumped. This is how he moved Detective Gunman's body. A parking stub? Miles Edgeworth? You mean... The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Wait, so does that mean Edgeworth unwillingly moved the victim's body? You mean I carried the victim's body? Precisely so. But wait, even you know, I didn't plan on returning to my office after the ceremony finished that day. But you did return. Tell me why. Tell me why? I was asked to go by Chief Grant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. So you see, what you were really taking to the prosecutor's office wasn't a screwdriver, but the victim's body in your trunk. Detective Gunman's body is carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? Oh, my throat's being so annoying. Time for another drink break. I also don't get it, because I've been taking drinks throughout the stream, and yet my throat's starting to get a little sore. There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order, order, order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Rhino, but I'm having lunch with the DA General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. God damn. Well, you think I had law to dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of the body? Do I have any concrete proof? Present evidence. I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor, I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. Okay, because I'm on my last legs, yeah, please forgive me, but I'm gonna look it up. Only because I'm on, like, my last life. I think I made the wrong choice. Oh no, what do I do now? Oh no! Oh no, I made the wrong choice and I don't think I've saved in quite a while. God damn it. I thought I had proof there. Fucking different windows and everything. Oh, god damn it. What the fuck? Game. Okay, there we go. I can't prove it, and I can't go back. What the frick am I meant to do now? Because I should have picked the other option. But I thought I had proof. Yeah, actually, I should've, this is why I need to look at the court record more than I do. Because had I looked at the court record before I could have made that choice, I would have probably made the right choice, but now, really? It's gonna set me back quite a bit. Unless it, like, but I don't think this game auto-saves or has, like, hidden checkpoints either. Oh my god, why did I have to do this to myself? I'm just gonna have to game over because I don't... Oh... I'm so annoyed at myself. I should have either looked at the court record or thought about it. I just feel like I I picked that option without really thinking about it. And now and yeah, oh. Well, unfortunately, guys. Wait, what? Oh my god. Great, now I don't know what to do because oh, I swear I'm never this bad at saving, and yet when it comes to playing Ace Attorney on stream, I just have these blank moments where I forget to save, and now it's biting me in the ass because now I have to. Oh, can I just like skip this because hold backspace. Oh, this is so annoying. I'm gonna have to go through all of this shit again. And oh. Okay, I may be like really quiet for a little bit whilst I get back up to the point, but yeah, this has taught me I really need to fucking be on it with my saving because now I mean, who knows how far I set myself back. Like, I don't actually know how close I was to solving the case. Oh. And the worst part is I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to also be careful that I don't just like skip through. Right, Demon Gun. I'm not gonna make any excuses, but oh. Fucking Now my body's just annoying me because it's like, I swear I feel like I'm getting a cold out of nowhere. But yeah, please bear with me guys, I'm so sorry. I should have really been on it a lot more with my saving. Cause yeah. Well, the thing is that like, yeah, I really wish Phoenix Wright games had auto saving. I think the later trilogy remasters, so I think both the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles and Apollo Justice trilogies, like collections, and Miles Edgeworth all have auto saving. It's just this one where Capcom was like, nope, no auto saving. Oh. See, this is why I love auto saving in my games, because then I don't have to remember. At least I know that the testimony I was on was the one after this one, so yeah, luckily I'm not that far back. It's just annoying I have to like go through all this shit again. And it could have been avoided if I just remembered to bloody save. Oh, I'm so mad at myself right now. I'm just like, why? Just to speed things up a bit, I'm just gonna like refer to a guide just to help me quickly get to the point I was at. Da, da, da. Yeah, that's that one. Okay, so now we're on the testimony that I screwed up on. So, yeah. Okay. Come on. Okay, press. And then, yeah, I'll get to the point I was at. Oh damn, my nose is so annoying. It also doesn't help that I'm like just generally tired, because it's weird because I've been getting good nights, like good amounts of sleep, and yet I still have bags under my eyes. So I don't know how obvious they are on camera, but come on. Okay, I really wish whenever I click off the game don't like go off my other screen. But anyway, right, press on the statement. Okay, so now we're gonna point out Lana as the accomplice again. And then, yeah, we're almost caught up, but, oh, that was so mortifying. Like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just glad I managed to quickly get back to where I was at. But yeah, that just goes to show you that don't be like me and actually properly, like, constantly save in video games like this where there is no autosave, because if not, it will come back to bite you in the ass. It also doesn't help that I keep sneezing because I don't. Fuck. Speaking of, because that just makes my nose feel worse. Right. Okay, up next I'm gonna be doing the ID card record bit. And then, yeah. Come on. I just want to get to where I was at. Okay, come on. I just want to get to where I was at. Okay. ID card. Okay. Okay, so then I just have the lost item report and then the package to present again, and then I'll be at the same spot. Oh, my brain must be on like sleep mode or something, because not only am I struggling to figure out the answers today, but yeah, I'm also clearly like not thinking to save and stuff. I mean, I have saved a couple of times, but fuck, my fucking throat. Item report. Where's that? Come on. Come on. If anyone comes in whilst I'm like not looking at my chat right now, because I'm using my guide to get caught up to where I was before I stupidly decided not to save, so I lost a little bit of progress. Yeah, but yeah, I will look at the chat again soon. I just really want to get caught up or get back to where I was. But yeah, so okay, so I can look at the chat now again. Okay. I really wish, like, it seems to only be a problem with the Phoenix Wright games where if it's on another screen and you click off of it, then it goes off the other screen. But yeah, so if I take a little bit of time to get back to the game, it's because I've usually clicked on another window, so then I have to click back on the game again to make it like active and be working. Come on. Okay. Maybe that was the hint I should have taken before I made that wrong choice. Yeah, I should have noticed that the judge was saying if you present like Damien Gantz is like really important person, so presenting disputable evidence against him is absolutely a no-go. I have no proof yet. Okay. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. Humph. CFG? In that case, this court is forced to penalise you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip, never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Wah! Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honour of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness? In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honour? Have you forgotten? The defence is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honour. The defence calls forth Lana Skye to the stand. Wait, is it Lana? Yeah, okay. God, now I'm doubting myself. Because I'm just like... Yeah, yeah, because now that I've made one mistake, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to make any more. But yeah. The defendant, Miss Lana Skye, she was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body, in accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has no objections, Your Honour. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on. Huh? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Ah, this isn't good. Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then, I've got a lunch date to meet. That guy is one slimy, vindictive, you know what. This court is now in recess. Oh my god. Okay guys, so I know I've only just managed to catch up to where I was after I screwed up on that one choice, but given how nasally I feel and sound, and given how my throat is barely managing to keep talking right now, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but it has gotten a lot hoarser throughout the course of the stream. I think I'm gonna have to call it a day early today. But yeah, don't worry, I will be still streaming and back tomorrow though, with some Yakuza. But yeah, I think for tonight I need to call it a day early and then go get some rest, like maybe some proper hydration, because I'm not sure how good lemon and limeade is for you know, helping the throat. But yeah, so let me wait. Did that save? Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Okay. So yeah, let me put it on end of stream mode. But yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow with continuing with the next game in my cycle, which is Yakuza 0, which I'm very much looking forward to getting back to that. I think I might be nearing the end of that game. I'm not on the final chapter or anything, but I think we're definitely past the halfway point in that game now. So I'm looking forward to playing that tomorrow and seeing what other crazy stuff goes down. But yeah, but until then, let's see who we can raid. Yeah, so following who's online, let's see. Ooh, oh wow, Chugs has just come on. Oh, that was good timing. But yeah. So Chugs is on, or yeah. Yeah, clearly my tired brain is like in full effect right now, because I can't even think of like what I'd want to watch in terms of categories. So yeah, I think even though I raid him a lot because I love him so much, I'm gonna raid Chugs again. But yeah, so let's start the raid. Where is, let me get him up. Ooh, it's a hype train.
This game.
But yeah, so raid. But yeah, so I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day or evening. But yeah, so and I will see you tomorrow at 6 PM BST, 1 PM EST for some Yakuza 0. But yeah, I think I'm gonna raid Chugs and then get into wind down and ready to go to bed mode, I think. But yeah, thanks guys, and see you tomorrow.